And we have an int array, so I'm on line 14 here. We want to try to find, let's say, the smallest number in this array. If I want to find the smallest number in this array, I'm going to have to loop through it. So I already have the loop head up, loop ready to go. Obviously 10 is the smallest number, but we're going to assume we don't know the numbers in there. So we're going to try to look from this one. Are you the smallest? Are you the smallest? Are you the smallest? Are you the smallest? So one strategy is just look at each one and compare it to a current smallest and see if they beat it. The problem is we have to start with the current smallest. So one strategy that is used outside the loop to start with the smallest, so we're going to make maybe a variable called smallest, and we're going to start it out equaling a very, 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 very large number, knowing that somebody will eventually beat it in the array. So one of the things that we're going to do, again, researching the API, we're going to go back to the API. I'm going to Command F, and I'm going to have you type in integer, or I'm going to type in integer. Integer, if I go through this list, I'm going to go to try to find the integer class. So I'm going to, oops, I want to be over here. Sorry, I want to get it from over here. So maybe I'll just go look for the integer class because that little strategy didn't work. So it was given to me in that other one. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Yep, I still know my alphabet. Integer. Come on. Maybe I don't know my alphabet. There it is. Integer. Integer is a class. Remember, int is a primitive data type. Integer, every primitive data type has a wrapper class. And wrapper, not like wrapper. I'm talking about wrap a gift. That was the only joke I had for you today. So a gift. So the integer class wraps up primitive data types and makes them objects. So really an integer is really a primitive int wrapped up as an object. So something that accepts an object, you could pass an integer instead of an int. If we look at all the methods inside of the integer class, a lot of them are static. Okay, static meaning we don't need to create an object of them. There is two that will be on the AP test, or two variables, sorry, that will be on the AP test. If I look up here where the fields are variables. So remember, every class has fields in it, which are really variables, constructors, which we haven't really talked about yet, and then methods. Methods are things that we can do. But remember, fields or variables are things that it's storing. So the integer class has two very popular fields called max value and min value. And these two variables are static and they're ints, and it says it's a constant holding the maximum value. And this is holding the minimum value. So we talked about that, ints take 8 bytes. So there is a maximum largeness that it can be and a maximum smallest that can fit in an int based on 2 to the 31st power minus 1 and 2 to the 31st power, or negative 2 to the 31st power. So all of those things we have talked about. So this max value is the biggest possible int that could be in an int, and this min value is the minimum one. So how about we make the smallest the biggest possible value ever, and then we're guaranteed somebody in the array will eventually beat it. And then to go the other way, if I wanted to find the maximum value in an array, I would start out the maximum being the smallest possible int value and see if anybody could beat that. Okay, so we're going to go back to our code again and see if we can do this. So if I want to use that, I go to the integer class dot. Now the only reason why I don't have to create an object of this class, again, it was static. Actually, fields are normally not accessible anyways. But from a static, if they're constants, we usually make them static. Now, since that was a constant, it was in all caps, so I do know that it was in all caps. To separate variables or separate words inside of a variable that are all caps, we use the underscore, and there it is. So integer.min value, that's just the understanding code. You could just copy it from somewhere, but I want you to understand it. There's a min value variable inside the integer class that is static. So to access it, we use the class name dot field name. Also, we should recognize that this is all capital letters. If that's all capital letters, that means it's a constant, which we didn't talk about when we were there. But they're constants. It does say it's a constant. So constants, if we went into it a little bit deeper, you would see that it's declared to be a final. Final is what makes something a constant right there. So we've talked about that as well, but just kind of really understanding, something that's all capital is a constant. And normally in classes, constants are made public, so we can get to them in static because they never change as well. So those are just some things about that. So we just made integer.min value. Actually, if we're looking for the smallest, we don't want to make the smallest integer.min value. We want to make it integer.max value. So just to show you both of these. So we're going to do integer.max value. So now it's the largest possible number inside. So we are guaranteed somebody in here will beat it. So then we just put a simple if statement in here that says if nums I, which is any number coming out of this array, is less than smallest. So if it ends up being less than smallest, then we want to replace smallest with nums I. So all that's doing is saying, okay, I'll make the smallest to start with the biggest possible value. And then I'm going to see if anybody beats it. As soon as somebody beats it, I'm going to make them the smallest. And then when I loop up and compare to smallest again, I'm saying, okay, now you're the smallest. So the first time through, 50 is going to become smallest. But then 20 beats it. So now 20 will become smallest. When it gets to 30, it won't do anything because 30 doesn't beat 20. 20 would be the smallest right now. 30 doesn't beat it, so it skips it. Goes on to 10. Ooh, 10 now beats smallest. So 10 becomes the smallest. So this is saying, hey, if you beat the smallest, you become the smallest. And then it compare everybody to you. So we make it all the way through. And then on the outside of the loop, we could print the smallest. Just say, hey, we found the smallest one. Just to see which one was the smallest. So hopefully this would print the number 10 to the screen. We could do the same thing with the largest. We would just make it, start it out being a very, very small number. So that's a strategy. And the last strategy that some people do, which I think is pretty cool, so we can just look at this, is we could make smallest equal to the first item in the array. So I'm going to comment this out just to say, okay, we're not going to use that one now. We're going to try this. Another strategy, instead of making the smallest a really, really big value and see if anybody beats it, another strategy is make smallest equal to the first item in the array. Say, okay, you're the smallest. And then go see if anybody beats him. In this case, we wouldn't have to start at 0. We could change the loop to say, hey, we only need to start at nums 1 because we already made num 0 the smallest. If you kept it at 0, it would still work. It's just doing an extra check. You're checking yourself. And you already made yourself the smallest, and then you'd be checking yourself. This would also work if we did this. So this is another strategy, making the first item in the array the smallest, and then going through and see if anybody beats it. So a couple different strategies to look for smallest. You could do the same thing for largest. Just some strategies for you.